evening, ladies and gentlemen. In today's session, Spotlight on Industry Makers, I have the distinct honor and pleasure to welcome Mrs. Şadan Kaptanoglu, President and Chairperson of the Board of BIMCO. Şadan, welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Allow me to begin by stating that the issue of crew changes and repatriation has become the #1 problem during and sparked by COVID, along with the IMO greenhouse gas reduction measures. Now, I am aware that you and your president-designate, Mrs. Sabrina Chao, attended the World Ocean Summit and a World Economic Forum meeting a few days ago addressing and discussing these issues. Can you please share with us the outcome of these discussions and BIMCO's actions on these issues?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. And it is so difficult now to actually salute people. I think it is much better if I just say hello to everybody. It is a pleasure to be here. And so we all know that we are going through difficult times. And pandemic has changed our lives dramatically, I have to say. But let me start by saying that shipping did a great job. I think we proved what the ship owners were saying all the time, that, without us, the world stops. And the world didn't stop. But all this performance comes with a cost. And that is our seafarers. From the early days of the pandemic, we worked so hard, all together with all shipping associations. Because the situation is in a way puzzled us as well, I have to admit, because what we think was a perfect supply chain, we learned that it wasn't at all. So, there is a lot of lessons to be taken out from the pandemic. And one of them is now that our great supply chain and our great shipping industry whole operation is not resilient. So we have to work on it. So we start right away. I think there are certain, maybe just a little good outcomes of this, pandemic. That one of them is collaboration. So we are collaborating more than ever. All together, we are working on this. And while we are working at the IMO level all together, and I want to thank all my fellow shipping association members that, we worked so hard to improve the crew change. It is better than it used to be. Is it enough? Certainly not. So we still, keep on working. And of course, as associations, we have other things we do on the side, which is, for example, for BIMCO, we immediately produced a COVID-19 clause for crew change. It is adapting slowly, and I think charterers has been in their own market for a long time, so it is taking time to adjust, but it is coming along, and because this is beyond, I don't want to say shipping, but this is beyond the ship owner or the ship operators or only charters matter. This is an ethical matter that we all have to address together. So we are, continuing to work on the situation, and also now we are also working on the vaccination situation, and that's why we always say that every member state of the IMO should accept seafarers as a key workers, and so that they can be also have a better advantage for when it comes to vaccination. So this is one of the things that we are also working as well. So there are a lot of things to be learned from the pandemic, and I think pandemic also act as an accelerator. And so it speed up the things. So our greatest challenge is the decarbonization of shipping. And I think this pandemic makes people think about the environment. because we keep on talking, but I think now we all have to do the work as well. Not only shipping, but every individual people in the world, because climate change should be stopped. We are not the first generation, maybe, to actually pollute our wonderful country, which is Earth to me. But we can be the last one to save it. So we have to be very careful. So decarbonization shipping is also, we see the acceleration. And this is not a bad thing. This is, will increase the awareness, the commitment for not only shipping industry, but also the outsiders as well. And now, last November, we have the IMO meeting, and now we have the short-term measures. And which in BIMCO, we are working on it because we want a practical and global short-term measures. This is very important. And also, we are still working on our research and development fund, which is also, I think, important because there is a lot of innovations, there is a lot of investment on innovation. Well, we know that, but we do not know all of them. So decarbonization requires more than one solution. So I think a research fund should actually gather all this innovation so we can look and identify, and also maybe can create awareness that some of the technologies that we don't know. So I think that it is very important, and we are also working on to acceptance of the research and development fund. Having said that, while we are doing all this effort for environment, and we know that our timeline is very short. So we have to be stick on that timeline. So also in BIMCO, we think it is now time to discuss about market-based measures. So we invite all the member states of the IMO to open a dialogue and start to discuss about the market-based measures. Why this is important? Because this is about being a proactive now. With the short-term measures, hopefully with the research fund, we will have the time for the readiness. And when the technology is ready, the global, and I underline this word, the global MBM should be available to the ship owners, just to keep the level playing field as well. And all these efforts, me being in the economist, and Sabrina is being also, in the independent panel, is because we want to get things out of our comfort zone. That is also one thing we learned in the pandemic. We know each other, shipping people, shipping administrations, flag states, we have no problem there. But the moment we are out, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Domestic Affairs, then nobody knows about us. So we have to be able to go out there and talk to people and tell them who we are, who we really are. So that is one of the efforts we are making. And we will keep on being advocate of shipping. Thank you.
Well, you used wonderful words like collaboration. And what I am taking out of what you just discussed is that one of the things that has happened due to COVID is that shipping is starting to become extrovert. And I like the idea of making the world know who we are and how do we operate. And all of the associations like BIMCO and IMO are spearheading this. And this really makes me proud to be a shipping person, as I've always been, but even more prouder. So it takes a crisis to get us out of our comfort zone and change things. And thank you for that, for spearheading it as BIMCO. Now, very shortly, I would like to touch upon maritime security and Nigerian piracy. How is BIMCO addressing these issues?
I still hard to believe. This is my biggest difficulty. We are in 21st century and there is piracy. Not like the ones in the movies. actual real piracy. And this is happening on 21st century on commercial vessels. So from BIMCO perspective, this is not acceptable anywhere. And Gulf of Guinea and Nigeria, we have a problem. Of course, Nigerian government and Nigeria as a country, they are trying to do their best and taking precautions. But so far, this is not enough. The situation is accelerating. Now they start to shoot people.
Wow.
So we have to, in a way, in BIMCO, we think that enough is enough. So what does that mean? That means that now we outspokenly, as you see, asking a collaboration between the country's territorial forces and the international forces. So because we have a success story in the Gulf of Aden, and Gulf of Guinea is a very small place. We do not need that much investment. It's a very small place. So together with international forces, and if we can mix that with the Nigerian territorial forces, then I think we can make it.
Yes, enough is really enough, and I'm sure that when everybody collaborates, has open dialogue, as we said, solutions will be found. One very quick last point, as our time is running out, is I know you touched upon what have we learned from COVID, and you're also working on it, but I know BIMCO has done a very bold move in the extrovert category, and I would like you to tell us about it.
Now the century we are living is all about reaching the individual people. So we thought that a movie, a very short movie about the our seafarers, our shipping, and what we really do, and why what we are doing is matter, will be a good way of starting to tackle with the perception of shipping. And so we make this hero movie, Ships Make the World Go. And we've been getting great response. And also we did this for outside. We also get great words from the inside, which also tell me that we are on the right track. Because I think now the ship owners, we have wonderful generation of ship owners everywhere in the world. So we have to step up and talk about what we do and why we do it, because it is not certainly all about making money.
True. So, thank you. We are looking forward. I think this has already been put live on YouTube, is it? Or through your website? Has this been launched? Because I've seen a video that says the world shipping makes the world go round.
Yes, indeed, it is. It's been launched as a kind of a New Year gift to.
So we
to
should
the
all be
industry.
sharing it, is what I would like to
please.
say. We should all be
Yes.
sharing it. We should all be sharing it and promoting collaboration, open dialogue, in order to find all these solutions and move forward in the 22nd century, going forward now.
Yes.
So, thank you, Şadan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have just heard the leaders and the industry makers' views and their efforts, and I believe we should join them in their efforts to go forward and find all of these solutions. Thank you, Şadan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. My pleasure.